Hello, and welcome to the Flick Advisor. Today we're going to review Logan. Now, Logan is directed by James Mangold. Logan is said to be the final portrayal of the character Wolverine by Hugh Jackman. This is the 9th time he's played the character, starting with 2000's XMen. XMen was really the first time, at least 20th Century Fox kind of took the comic book movie seriously. X-Men kind of redefined the comic book genre. They're the first ones who really put a lot into the comic book movies and seen they could actually be more than just silly comic book movies. If you go back to that first X-Men, that first X-Men actually talks a lot about political and social issues, albeit under the veil of mutants versus people, but the whole movie is really a civil rights movie. If you think about it, civil rights for mutants. So starring Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart returns as Professor X, Xavier, and introducing Daphne King as Laura, also known as X-23.
Hey, come on. Not okay!
X-23 is a clone of Wolverine that they got wrong 22 times, and they decided to try to make it a female, playing around with the chromosomes, and finally on the 23rd attempt to make a Wolverine clone that worked.
She's like you, very much like you.
One of the things you want to take note is that this movie is loosely based off of the comic book Old Man Logan. It's loosely based because there are elements that the movie can't take away from the story, and there are elements that the movie doesn't take away from that particular story. That story has all the Marvel, not all of the Marvel, but that story has Marvel elements and Marvel properties that 20th Century Fox cannot use, such as the Hulk, Hawkeye. Those things belong to Marvel Studios, in their Avengers series and stuff like that. And so 20th Century Fox took the Old Man Logan feel and adapted it into a story that they could actually use with their properties. So there is no Wolverine fighting the Hulk's, children. Those things don't happen in this. There's no blind Hawkeye driving Wolverine around. So in that sense, it's not an immediate adaptation of Old Man Logan. It's more of a rethinking or loosely based off of that. So here you have Logan. He's an old man. He's an old man. Imagine Charles Xavier now, a really old man. As a matter of fact, he's kind of going senile. He's got dementia or Alzheimer's. He has a degenerative, kind of brain disease here. And Logan is taking care of him. They have sort of like a father-son relationship almost. All the other X-Men are gone. They kind of allude to a reason about why that's happening, but we'll get into that later. So it's really just Xavier and Logan for the majority of the movie until Laura comes along. Laura needs help getting to this other place where these other kind of upcoming mutants are like a safe haven for them.
She needs our help.
Someone will come along.
Someone has come along.
Now, a lot of the things in this movie work really, really well. Let's talk about those things. The direction in this movie, the tone they decided to take. This is the first rated R X-Men movie. You could say Deadpool if you want to. Deadpool is a rated R comic book movie, and he is kind of an X-Men. You know what I mean? But this is actually something that we've been waiting for a long time. It was nice to see Wolverine on the screen back in 2000. It was just a neat thing, and it has been cool ever since. But you kind of wanted a little bit more. You kind of wanted the edginess of that particular character to really come through. And they tried it a little bit before with 2013's The Wolverine, which James Mangold also directed. It tried to bring you a more grounded, a more serious, a more mature Wolverine character. And after the release of Deadpool, which was rated R, 20th Century Fox decided they could take a chance and tell a more mature adult Wolverine story. And so here they decided to take that and run with it at a rated R level. And for that, the movie doesn't hold back. The movie gives you everything you've finally been waiting to see, for the last, 17 years. When Wolverine, stabs somebody or slices at somebody with his claws, finally actual blood comes out. It's not that clean cut, one where he slices you and cauterizes the wound at the exact same time. We got to a point where that was almost like insulting our intelligence. So we finally get the blood on this. And another thing, this movie just hurts. This movie physically and emotionally hurts. They bring you along with these characters. You've already known, Wolverine, Logan. You've already known Professor X, but now you get to really spend a lot of time with them because it's mostly them. Before the other X-Men movies, you're sharing screen time with, Storm, Jean Grey, Rogue, Cyclops, all these other characters. Finally, we get to sit down with really the characters we've enjoyed the most and just spend time with them and feel for them and let them take you along the ride. And so when bad things happen to them, and there's a lot of bad things that happen to them in this movie, when bad things happen to them, you're there and it hurts you. It is sort of an emotionally draining movie, almost like I said with my Fences review. At the end of this movie, you're just tired. You need somebody to help you out of the seat because you're exhausted. And it's a good thing. It's effective storytelling. It's good acting. It's good direction. It's good writing. Hugh Jackman, again, for this role, he's got to know this role by the back of, like the back of his hand by this point. Playing this character 9 different times, but he actually brings it to a whole nother level this time because Wolverine's at a place in his life that he hasn't been before. There's no more glitz and glamour. There's no more team, even though he wasn't the biggest team player. There's no real team to fall back on. None of that. It's just him and Professor X, and he's trying to take care of him. And Professor X, Charles Xavier, and Patrick Stewart playing him, again gives another outstanding performance. He's an old man. He's an even older man. He's beginning to go senile. So, when somebody who has who's going through this, you understand what a bad day is for them. They don't remember you, or you're trying to tell them, hey, this happened back in the day, and they're like, I don't remember that. But no, when Charles Xavier has a bad day, with the mind that he has, when that mind starts to deteriorate, it's not just a bad day for him, it's a bad day for everybody in like a 5-mile radius. When I try to think about things that don't work in this movie, nothing really comes across. You would think maybe the child actor, Daphne King, you would think maybe, she doesn't work, but no, in the movie she works really well. She gets things across a lot of times without dialogue. You do believe her as this savage.
No. No. No.
Somebody confronts her. You're kind of expecting they might have something for her, but no. When she goes off, she goes off, and then Wolverine almost has to catch up to her, because it's his movie too. So no, she absolutely does a great job as well. I really have a tough time thinking anything bad about this movie, any kind of points to knock it down. And really, the only thing I have 2 things I kind of wish they had expounded upon. One, in the movie Wolverine's sick. He's not healing. I wish they kind of told you, hey, this is what's wrong with him. This is why he's not healing. This is what's hurting him. But they take they take the more mature route. Against what I was feeling, and they kind of allude to it, and they say, hey, take that for what it is and run with it. And also, what happened to the rest of the X-Men? In the movie, it's Caliban, Wolverine, and Professor X, and there's no other mutants really to speak of. And you wonder, what happened to the other mutants? What happened to the X-Men? Once again, they allude to it. They tell you, hey, this is probably what happened here, but we're not saying it definite. We're not saying it in definite terms. Again, it's the more mature route. I understand that, audiences talk about all the time, you don't like things, spoon-fed to you. I kind of wish that they had spoon-fed me this one, but I can live with it. It's the more mature route. It's good storytelling. I get it. Because this movie is essentially 17 years in the making, I have to give it a 9 out of 10. This is something we've been waiting for a long, long time, and they finally delivered it to us in a near perfect package. It's like when we first seen the Spider-Man in Civil War. It was like, this is what we've been waiting for. And so that's why Spider-Man stole that show, in that whole movie. This Logan is what we've been waiting, what, X-Men comic book fans have been waiting for a long time. And they gave it to us in a nicely wrapped bow. So what do you think of Logan? Do you think maybe it was too sad? Do you think it was too serious for a comic book movie? Do you believe that this has to do with Deadpool's success? Let me know in the comments. Please hit the like button, subscribe. I have more reviews coming to you. I took a quick break because I had some dental work, so I didn't really feel comfortable talking on the camera while it was hurting. I don't want to get into it. All right, so Logan, 9 out of 10. Great movie. Might be the best so far. Thank you.